Topic name is vector methods. 1. Find final void add element bracket object element. The object specified by elements is added to the vector. Second, int capacity returns the capacity of the vector. Third, object clone returns the duplicate of the invoking vector. 4. Boolean contains object element. This method returns true if the element is contained by the vector and returns false if it is not. Next, void copy into bracket object array. The elements contained in the invoking vectors are copied into the array specified by the array. 5. Object element at bracket int index returns the elements at the location specified by the index. Next, enumeration elements returns an enumeration of the elements in the vector. Next, void ensure capacity bracket int size set the minimum capacity of the vector to size. Next, object first element returns the first element in the vector. Next, int index of bracket object element returns the index of the first occurrence of elements. If the object is not in the vector, -1 is written. Next, int index of bracket object element int start returns the index of the first occurrence of the element at or after start. If the object is not in that portion of the vector, -1 is written. Next, void insert element at bracket object element comma int index adds the elements to the vectors at the location specified by index. Next methods. Well, boolean is empty returns true if the vector is empty and return false if it is contains one or more elements. Next, object last element returns the last elements in the vector. Next, int last index of bracket object element returns the index of the last occurrence of elements if the object is not in the vector. -1 is written. Next, int last index of bracket object element comma int start returns the index of the last occurrence of elements before start. If the object is not in that portion of the vector, -1 is written. Void remove all elements and empties the vector. After this method executes, the size of the vector is 0. Next, boolean remove element bracket object element removes elements from the vector. If more than one instance of the specified object exists in the vector, then it is the first one that it is removed. Returns true if successful and false if object is not found. Next, void remove elements at bracket int index removes the elements at the location specified by index. Void set element at bracket object element int index. The location specified by the index is assigned element. Next, void set size bracket int size sets the number of elements in the vector to size. If the new size is less than the old size, elements are lost. If the new size is larger than the old size, null elements are added. Next, int size returns the number of elements currently in the vector. Next, string to string returns the string equivalent of the vector. Next, void trim to size set the vector's capacity equal to the number of elements that it currently holds. Well, because enumerations are not recommended, Java 2 Vector added support for iterators. Instead of relying on an enumerations to cycle through the objects, you now can use an iterator. For example, following iterator based code can be substituted into the program. Because enumerations are not recommended for new code, you will usually use an iterator to enumerate the contents of the vector. Of course, much legacy code exists that employs enumerations. Virtually enumerations and iterators work in a nearly the same manner.